Israel and Hamas are at war since October. But do you remember the country that was at war before that? Or this man, who was filling online and offline media every day with war updates? US and the West are now busy dousing flames of the war in West Asia. Ukrainian leader Zelensky made a lot of noise to continue focus on the Russia-Ukraine war, but these days he's largely ignored. And guess who may be smiling? Russian President Vladimir Putin. Is Vladimir Putin the biggest gainer from the changing chess game of geopolitics that's now focused on the Israel-Hamas war? I'm Shivan Chanana. Welcome to Game Plan.
We have $5.4 billion left in PDA funds, and we have no more USAI left.
USAI stands for Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative, which is completely depleted. PDA is Presidential Drawdown Authority, a fund which President Joe Biden can dip in for arming Ukraine. Ever since the Israel-Hamas war, the funds sent to Ukraine have considerably fallen. Meanwhile, Poland refused to provide additional weaponry to Kiev as a row over Ukrainian grain intensified. Slovakia's newly elected government has stopped military aid to Kiev. Hungary has refused to release $500 million for Ukraine aid over Ukraine's blacklisting of a Hungarian bank. Bulgaria, Hungary, Romania, and Slovakia have banned the imports of Ukrainian wheat, the funds from which Ukraine badly needed to run its war. The European Union said that it won't be able to provide Ukraine with 1 million artillery shells and rockets by March 2024. The West still provides military aid to Ukraine, but the profiles of some of the weapons appear fit for a military junkyard. Bulgaria will supply unserviceable S-300 missiles to Ukraine. Germany was sending outdated Leopard 1A5 tanks which Ukraine refused to receive. Slovakia provided faulty MiG-29s unsuitable for combat. Ukraine could only use them for spare parts. And even US sent a batch of unserviceable Humvees to Ukraine. With a boost in Russia's defense spending, Russian unemployment is down to a record low of 3% as factories move to double or triple shifts. Russia's GDP is likely to grow by 2 to 3% this year. And in spite of the $60 per barrel price cap imposed by G7 plus nations, Russia is still getting at least $80 a barrel for oil. There have been multiple sackings and purges of Ukraine's civilian and military leadership. A top commander, General Valery Zelensky, characterized the war as a stalemate, which led to a spat with Ukraine's President Zelensky. Zelensky recently fired the medical commander of the armed forces as well, and earlier he sacked the defense minister and 6 deputy defense ministers and the state secretary of the defense ministry. The Ukrainian counteroffensive failed to make many gains. The so-called upcoming mud season could hit Ukraine hard as winter nears. Any serious advances can be ruled out until spring, giving Russia more time. And Russia, meanwhile, continues to dig heels in Ukrainian territory. Zelensky still maintains that Ukraine is not out of the fight. But the real question is, should Zelensky start negotiating with Putin? While US and the West are stretched too thin, having to deal with multiple conflicts, Russia, on the other hand, is focused on its objectives in Ukraine and is boosting its defenses and building military ties with help from oil money. Thus, Putin seems to be having the last laugh due to disturbances in West Asia. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments.